Alright, hey guys, and welcome back. As this week I wanted to take a look at a cool line of Masters of the Universe Hot Wheel cars, and that is the 2020 Masters of the Universe Hot Wheels character cars. And these guys are kind of inspired when the original Origins line rolled out, and then kind of just a nod to the original MOTU line. So we have 5 cars here total. We have Tila, we have Man-at-Arms, we have He-Man, Skeletor, and Beast-Man. So we'll just go ahead and we'll take a look at each one on the card first, and then we'll take a look at them all individually and get a close-up look at them. So of course, let's start out with He-Man, Master of the Universe, of course, and he's got like this really cool, like charger, I guess, here. And it has a really nice style to it. I like the orange. I like the red on the front and everything. The wheels, I don't really like all this gold chrominess on the wheels. I think that kind of takes away from the cars, but still not bad. I like the artwork on these cards a lot. They look great. You got He-Man in this cool action pose with Eternia and the mountains in the background, the moons that are silhouetting in the background there. You can see his shield with some battle damage, and he has his harness. His hair's blowing in the wind. So a very cool action pose. You can imagine him fighting, Beastman or Skeletor or what have you there. I think the artwork is really nice on this. And then on the back, nothing too special. It just shows all of the other cars that you can get with their little pictures. So, nothing too special, but still pretty nice, pretty cool. Alright, and now let's take a look at the Man-at-Arms card. And another nice card here. You have Man-at-Arms in another good action pose, using his wrist-mounted blaster on his armor, with the same backdrop of Eternia and everything. So I think that looks really good. And it's interesting, they put Man-at-Arms Mentor, so a lot of the other cards don't really have, like, description. It'll just say the name, so that's kind of neat. And I think the face is really done well, nicely and everything. So again, another good card with some good art. And then let's take a look at, here we have Tila. And again, another really well done card. You can really see that determined look on her face. She has like the snake goddess armor on, which is really cool that they alluded to that. Even the detail work on the shield is really nicely done. A little bit different of a scene here because you have like some different colored mountains on the side and stuff, so I like that it's not all just the exact same backdrop. I mean, for the most part it is, but those little tiny details kind of accentuate and really make the rest of the artwork pop, and a really good nod to the snake sorceress armor there. So very, very cool. Alright, and of course, we've got to take a look at Skeletor. And this looks fantastic. That really has that 80s kind of vintage look to it. Even though his face looks different than most stuff I've seen Skeletor in any type of toy packaging before, that's a unique take on the vintage face. I like they have his nail claws that you don't really see very often. Those are kind of left out since he is a different species altogether on Eternia. And then you have Skeletor, or Esqueleto, the Spanish version, the name for Skeletor, which is interesting. And you see a lot of these, even the Origins figures. I have a Skeletor that has just the Esqueleto, or however you pronounce that name, on there. So you see a lot of stuff that was supposed to go to like other markets that slipped into like a North American market. So, and not that it's anything valuable, but it is just an interesting variant. And his armor looks fantastic. The eyes, the teeth, the grin. So this is a wonderful, wonderful looking Skeletor card here, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And that last but not least, of course, we have to have Beastman. And this looks really good. You can see he's got his whip. He has the medallion. The paintwork on the face is done nicely with the fangs, the hair, the detail, the horns, the side armor on the horns here. So overall, I think this is done really good, although I gotta say his face looks a little goofy. They're a little off on that. It's not bad, but it's just a little too cartoony and not quite serious enough. I mean, it is a good looking face, but it's just something about it looks a little off. But overall, it still looks good, and another good looking card. Alright, so of course now let's start off with He-Man here, and we'll take a look at his car here. And this is a really nice looking car. Again, like I said, to me it looks like a Charger or a Mustang of some sort. You know, sorry, I'm not a huge car person, so if I'm butchering that all up and you guys are like, oh no, it's actually this, well, there you go. But again, I think the detail on this is really nice. I think, you know, you can see the sword there, the power sword sort of power, that looks really cool. And then the way that it's designed too, like with this loincloth would be brown, how that is like the bottom of the car. And then you have like the orange, which would have been the belt above that. And then like more of like a, you know, like a flesh tone, the yellow and stuff. You have his battle armor here, you know, his harness with the red little cross that goes in the middle for like the engine sticking out of the top, which is really, really nice. The color detail on this is really nice. Not a big fan of these chromed out wheels. I think that kind of ruins the look, but I mean, it's not terrible. They roll pretty well. The wheels are really free spinning. I like the back spoiler too. It's kind of like a continuation of his harness, like how it would connect on the back. So overall, I think it's a really well done little car and some nice detail. And then we got Man-at-Arms here. And now this is a weird vehicle. Like, I don't even know what to call this. It's just some type of like, just an ATV vehicle. It looks like those terrible Aztec cars that came out years ago, kind of. But it also kind of just reminds me of like a dump truck or something, like a trash truck. Like that's what first thing that I think of when I look at this. So I think they could have picked a better design. Just looks like a cockroach or a bug or something. Not a very good design for a vehicle. And then he's got his mace, which is kind of neat here on the side, but it looks more like a toadstool or a mushroom growing out of the side of the car. Might be because he's hauling around all that trash, so, you know, fungus is growing out of his car there. And then you got, it's got 6 wheels, 4 in the back, 2 in the front. Some pretty decent color. The green pops really nicely. I like the front, and especially how the armor is only on the one side, so that's a nice little tip too, because you have the orange over here, and you have nothing on this side. So I do like how they did that. I like how they did the little dots on the top of his helmet here to indicate like the dots on his helmet of the actual figure. The visor, little blue accents, and you got the tail lights on the back, which they don't really correspond to anything, but they really complete the look and help it to look nice. So again, another good rolling little vehicle here. It looks a little odd, but still pretty cool. And let's take a look at Tila. Now this is a really nice looking car, her interpretation. And this is like a, I don't know, like a Lambo, Corvette, you know, whatever you want to call it, Camaro. And this is a nice looking car. This really looks nice. I like the design. I like the gold on white. That really, you know, you think of Tila, you're thinking of, that's her armor that she dresses up in. And I like the accents too, with like the burgundy and the brown for like her, you know, her like serpent, sorceress, goddess armor. That's a nice detail. And then even inside, it's a little hard to see, but you can see like the, you can see the steering wheel. So they took some extra time to actually add some details in there, which is nice. And on this, the wheels actually look nice. They complement. Because I don't think that off-roady style of wheel, like with all these extra treads, I don't know. On vehicles like this, it works. I don't think it works so much on, you know, He-Man's car. Maybe they could have gone with something a little bit more like this, I think. That would have been nicer. Just slim it down, make it a little more sleek. But this is really cool. This has some really great designs. The paint and the overall design and aesthetic looks really good. And this is about as good of a representation of a car as you can make for Tila, you know, that I think you can get. So really nice. And of course, let's take a look at Skeletor. He's got this crazy rat rod, hot rod car. And man, how cool is this? This looks so awesome. You got the engine sticking up in the front, and I like how it reminds me of his teeth and his skull, the way they're all like different sizes and stuff. And then you have, of course, you have the eyes, which this is done a little bit better than the other cars, because you'll notice with this one in Beastman how it has more of a face. And of course, this is supposed to be more of his teeth, but that kind of reminds me of it more. You got the nice neon yellow highlights here. The purple's done well. And now look at how cool this is done. This is done right. You got the purple chrome on the wheels, so that perfectly accentuates the rest of the details and looks, you know, fantastic. And then on the back, check that out for the exhaust. You even got a really teeny tiny little Havoc staff popping up there. The purple's done great. And just what an awesome little dragster. This thing is awesome and just looks so cool. And I see a lot of people doing customs on these, which are fun if you have an extra one. They take, I can't remember the name of the car, but it's like this little coffin car, and it has these skull wheels. And then you can pop these off and put them on, and they look really, really cool for a nice custom. So very cool. Probably my favorite out of the whole series there. And last but not least, of course, we have Beastman. And this is an interesting looking car. I love the orange look, and plus all his little armor and stuff. Now this is a nice little touch. It's like rubber, so that's kind of neat. Like, it looks just like the spikes on his armor, which is really cool. And then look at this. Like, compared to anything else besides our Man-at-Arms and Skeletor, that is, like, that's totally his face. Like, the paint, the windshield looks like his eyes, the grille looks like his teeth. You know, the orange is like the rest of his fur and stuff like that. And now this, the orange on the wheels, does make sense. That complements it. The big spare tire is supposed to be the medallion. That's kind of funny. It looks a little silly, but it kind of works. The orange color looks great. You got the back bumper, you know, the ladders and side hoses and everything. And overall, this is a fantastic looking... aside from the medallion, overall, if that wasn't there... the whole car would look great if they just streamlined that a little bit more. Like, that style is so cool for a modern take on turning Beastman into some type of like an off-road Hot Wheels ATV vehicle. So, very cool. Well, alright guys, that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed checking out this 2020 line of the Hot Wheels Masters of the Universe character cars, and I'll see you guys back here next time.
Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8ByteBrian. See you next time!